First-time jobless claims fell slightly in the US this week, but unemployment remains stubbornly high in the US and in Europe and in many other developed economies. If you're looking for a job, maybe it's time to try something completely different, though. Poppy Harlow has been looking at the options for retraining. You're not going anywhere, are you, Poppy? Got me worried.
No, certainly not, Max. But, you know, in this country, we may have had a slight improvement this week in jobless claims. Still, though, over 15 million Americans unemployed, many more underemployed in this country. So a lot of people are turning to retraining programs. In fact, the federal government has poured billions upon billions of taxpayer dollars into these job retraining programs. So what we wanted to find out is, are they working, and is this the right way to spend taxpayer money? We spent a day with a former banker who got government money to become a jeweler, of all things. Take a look. David Alperin is a long way from Wall Street.
It was a major transition in my life. I lost my job, went back to school, and started this new business.
After Citigroup laid him off in 2009, David reassessed and completely switched gears.
I started talking to my sister, who had done this program for jewelry design, and I realized that this was something I was always interested in.
I think job retraining is critical. We're seeing that employers want people with higher levels of skill.
About $4 billion has been appropriated for the Workforce Investment Act, the biggest federal job retraining program. But is retraining the answer for America's unemployment crisis? A 2008 study released by the Labor Department questioned conventional wisdom.
The impact for the typical worker, it did not seem as if the benefits were particularly large.
Absolutely disagree with that. We see time and time again people who have additional training, they are able to go into jobs.
But critics say the challenge is predicting those jobs.
The problem is nobody really, I've been a labor economist for over 15 years, and I don't do a very good job of predicting what the next hot new job is. I don't think we should get rid of the job training programs. I think we need to work on improving them so that they're better targeted.
These are my jewelry cases.
And red tape almost sabotaged David's quest for a new career. Because he was laid off from the financial industry in New York, he qualified for a national emergency grant for job retraining.
This was helping people who lived on Main Street but worked on Wall Street.
But going to school for jewelry design, well, that raised some eyebrows at the Labor Department.
They said that's not really what we classify as an in-demand occupation.
Or the job of the future.
Yeah, and that was the part that kind of frustrated me. I said, here I am trying to do something of interest and follow a passion.
So you almost didn't get the money?
Yeah.
But in the end, he did. $10,000 for tuition and expenses. And less than 2 years later, he sells the jewelry he designs and a friend's clothing line at his Brooklyn boutique.
This is my 14-karat gold bezel ring.
2 years ago, you were a banker,
yeah.
and now you're running your own boutique, trying to make it, trying to turn a profit. Are you happier now?
I am. I work harder now.
And Max, no surprise he works harder. He's the only person that runs that shop. If he even wants to go out to lunch, he has to put a sign on the door that he can't be there. But what's very interesting is that money, federal money for these programs has gone down, even though the demand has gone up. The demand from 2007 to 2009 for those federal job retraining programs has increased 150%. Of course, that's because of the recession. But also the bottom line here, and what we saw in that story, is that job retraining works some of the time, but not necessarily if it's not a targeted mission. And in this case, the subject you saw, David, almost didn't get the money because they didn't consider his position a quote-unquote job of the future.